topics and opinions expressed in the following show are solely those of the host and their guests and not those of W4CY Radio, its employees, or affiliates. We make no recommendations or endorsements for radio show programs, services, or products mentioned on air or on our web. No liability, explicit or implied, shall be extended to W4CY Radio or its employees or affiliates. Any questions or comments should be directed to those show hosts. Thank you for choosing W4CY Radio.
Welcome to Powerful Business Strategies, where you will find out that everything you have ever learned about growing your business is wrong. Finally, a show where you'll learn the right way to grow your business by learning business and financial strategies that your competition isn't doing. And now, here is your host, President of Next Step CFO, Michael Barbarita. And joining Michael for today's show as an executive moderator is Chuki Obiyo.
Yes, this is Chuki, and I believe that gratitude is undefeated and growth is about the next step. It is an honor for me to moderate today's discussion with my good friend, Michael. Michael, how are you?
Excellent, Chuki. How are you?
Doing well.
And my name is Michael Barbarita, as Chuki said, President of Next Step CFO. Next Step CFO is a fractional CFO and strategic implementation firm, and business owners hire us to double and triple their profit using business and financial strategies that their competition isn't doing. And today's show is certainly one of those strategies. Our vision is to ensure overwhelmed business owners achieve the time freedom and consistent profits to build a legacy and the life they desire. And our mission is simple. It's dedicated to guiding small business owners to leveraging their time, exploding their profits, and building that meaningful legacy. And this show, Powerful Business Strategies, in our book of the same name, is a step toward accomplishing that vision and mission. So with that, I'd like to hand it back to my co-author and moderator for the show, Chuki Obiyo.
Michael, I'm really energized by today's episode. Speaking of our book, the topic that we've prepared today, really energized by your insights. It's called The Position of Market Dominance: How to Become the Only Logical Choice in Your Industry. And just a quick disclaimer, folks, Michael and I are both affiliated with a number of different organizations, and I currently serve as the Managing Director of Business Development for Better Price, a global business-focused law firm. In addition to that, it's truly an honor to collaborate with Michael to moderate business roundtables and document the insights from these roundtables as part of our book called Powerful Business Strategies. But please note that the views expressed on this show are personal views based on those successful experiences with business owners across our roundtables as well. My mission as a fearless moderator is to ask the right questions to help you, the listener, learn the best strategies that the competition isn't doing. With that, back over to Michael.
Thank you, Chuki. So let's get right into it today. So business owners, I see you fighting an uphill battle every single day. You're up against bigger companies with deeper pockets, while your customers keep asking for lower prices. You're working harder than ever before, and yet your margins keep shrinking, and you're wondering if this is just how business has to be. Well, today, I want to show you that there is a better way. The most successful businesses don't compete on price. They create their own category where competition becomes irrelevant. They don't just sell products or services, they solve problems in ways no one else does. And the strategies that we'll share today have improved businesses in over 400 industries, from contractors and retailers to professional services and manufacturers. These aren't theoretical concepts, they're battle-tested approaches that level the playing field. And we believe strategic positioning shouldn't be reserved for businesses with massive resources. That's exactly why we created this show and exactly why we wrote our book. So today, you'll discover how to become the only logical choice in your industry. So let's begin that journey right now. And let me start with a simple question that gets to the heart of the challenge that most of us business owners face. When a prospect is considering you and your competitors, why should they choose you?
Interesting.
If your answer includes phrases like best quality, great service, years of experience, competitive pricing, you're making a critical mistake that's costing your customers and forcing you to compete on price. The problem is that these phrases are what we call industry jargon. These are generic claims that every one of your competitors also makes. They're drearily commonplace. They're very predictable, and they lack the power to make you stand out. And so when I hear a business owner say we provide the highest quality at competitive prices, my immediate thought is, well, I would hope so. Would anyone ever claim to provide poor quality at unreasonable prices? So this is why so many business owners struggle to differentiate themselves and end up in price wars. When you sound like everyone else, price becomes the only distinguishing factor for your prospects. So let me tell you about a landscape contractor. When I first met him, his marketing materials talked about professional service, attention to detail, and being licensed and insured. Does that sound familiar? Well, he was getting some business, but he was constantly being asked to lower his prices, and he was losing bids to cheaper competitors. And so when I asked him why customers would choose his company over others, he gave me a 10-minute passionate explanation about how his crew handled soil preparation differently than anyone else, resulting in healthier plants and significantly reduced replacement costs over time. My opinion, this was fascinating, but completely absent from all of his marketing. And so this is the key insight. Most business owners have something truly special about their businesses, but they bury it under generic industry jargon that makes them sound like everyone else. And what we business owners do is try to copy the big companies who have the big bucks and the resources to shove that jargon down our throats a million times in a massive way. And we don't have the resources to copy them. So the solution is what we call a position of market dominance. And this is a strategic approach that takes your business from just another option to the only logical choice for your ideal customers. And a position of market dominance, isn't a tagline or a slogan. It's a carefully crafted message that addresses your prospects' most pressing concerns and offers a solution that they can't find anywhere else. And when executed correctly, it makes you the obvious choice regardless of price. Yeah. And what makes this approach so powerful is that it enters the conversation prospect. So instead of trying to force your way into their attention with clever marketing gimmicks and taglines, you address the problems that they're already worried about. And unlike branding, which requires massive budgets and repetition to be effective, up to the fraction of the marketing investment because it resonates immediately with your ideal customer. And so today, I'm going to show you how to develop your own formula, your own position of market dominance using our proven formula that's worked across hundreds of different industries. And you'll learn how to identify the pressing problems that your prospects face, craft a compelling solution they can't find elsewhere, and communicate it in a way that makes competitors irrelevant.
Michael, this is remarkable. You mentioned that most businesses rely on industry jargon that make them sound like everyone else, right? Can you give us some examples of this jargon and why it's so ineffective?
Absolutely, Chuki. So industry jargon is rampant across all types of businesses. If you go on websites, you'll see it all over the place. You go to networking meetings, you'll hear it all over the place. And let me give you some specific examples. So for contractors, it's phrases like quality craftsmanship, attention to detail, licensed and insured, or satisfaction guarantee. For professional services, it's experienced professionals, personalized service, client-focused approach, or comprehensive solutions. For retailers, it's great selection, competitive prices, friendly staff, or serving the community since 1910. You know, these phrases are ineffective for three critical reasons. First, they're expected minimums. They're not differentiators. They're the expected minimum result that a client should expect. When a contractor says they're licensed and insures, customers think, well, I hope you are. That's a baseline expectation, not a reason to choose you. Second, they're impossible to verify before purchase. How does a prospect know if your quality and your quality craftsmanship is actually superior to someone else? They can't, which means these claims have very little credibility. Third, and most importantly, they focus on you, meaning the business owner, not on the customer and the customer's problems. When you say we have 25 years experience, you're talking about yourself.
Yeah.
But when you say we eliminate the risk of your project going over budget with a fixed price guarantee, now you're addressing a real customer concern where it's about them. The key to breaking free from jargon is to think about the specific problems that your customers face, the concerns that they have, and how you solve them differently from anyone else. Instead of saying you provide exceptional customer service, explain exactly how you make the customer's life better. For example, we provide same-day responses to all service requests and 24/7 emergency support, so you're never left waiting when you need help. That level of specificity cuts through the noise and resonates with prospects in a way that, well, generic jargon never will. So let's now dive deep into the first step of creating that position of market dominance, and that's identifying the problem your customers have and don't want. The most powerful marketing doesn't start with your product or service. It starts with your customers' problems. They don't care about your product or service, quite frankly. They care about their problems. Specifically, it addresses a problem that they have that they don't want. And to illustrate this, let me share a famous example that many of you will probably recognize. So when M&M Mars introduced M&Ms in 1954, they didn't focus on the quality of their chocolate or the colorful candy shell. Instead, they created a position of market dominance, melts in your mouth, not in your hands. And this brilliantly addressed a real problem that chocolate lovers had, especially moms who had kids. Chocolate bars melted in hot weather, creating a mess, whether it was on their furniture, on their hands, on their face, whatever it was. And M&M's offered a solution to that specific problem, and it catapulted that product to iconic status. The key insight here is that Mars didn't invent this problem. It already existed in the minds of the customers. And what M&M Mars did was recognize it and position their product as the solution to that problem. So how do you identify the problems your customers have and they don't want? Well, there's three primary research methods. First is what we call direct customer interviews. Talk to your current customers and ask questions like, what did you to look for a solution like ours? Or what was the most frustrating about your previous provider? These conversations often reveal points that you haven't considered. Second, competitor research. Study your competitors' reviews, both positive and negative. And what are customers applauding? What are they complaining about? These applauds and complaints represent opportunities for your business to stand out. Third, industry knowledge. Use your expertise to identify problems that customers might not even realize that they have. For example, a roofing company might know that a specific type of installation leads to leaks within 5 years, but homeowners won't discover this until it's too late. And so let me give you another real world example of how this all works. And by the way, identifying problems that customers have with the industry is another angle to all this. But a residential cleaning service was struggling to differentiate themselves in a crowded market. And when they interviewed their customers, they discovered their biggest frustration wasn't the quality of cleaning, which most services could provide adequately. It was the inconsistency of service when cleaning crews changed. So every time a new person cleaned their home, they had to re-explain their preferences, point out areas that needed special attention, and often found things that were missed. And this was a significant pain point that no other cleaning service in their area was addressing. So using this insight, this company created a position of market dominance. and that was the only cleaning service that guarantees you use the same cleaning team for every visit. If your regular team can't make it, we reschedule rather than sending strangers into your home. That's the way that sounds, too, the strangers into your home. Oh, God. This addressed a real problem customers had and didn't want. An inconsistency and discomfort of strangers in their home with a solution they couldn't find anywhere else, a guaranteed same team. Within 3 months of implementing this position of market dominance, their new customer acquisition increased by 40%, and they were able to charge 15% more than their competitors because they were solving a problem no one else was addressing. And now it's important to understand that the problem you identify must be something that truly matters to your customers. Sometimes business owners focus on technical problems, and they find that's important to them, but doesn't resonate with the customer. For example, a software developer might focus on their superior coding architecture, but customers don't care about the code. They care whether the software is reliable, ready to use, and solves their specific needs.
Yeah.
So to ensure they're identifying problems that actually matter, ask yourself these 3 questions. Number 1, is this problem emotionally significant to my ideal customer? Second, is this problem currently unsolved or inadequately solved by existing options? Third, is this problem something my business is uniquely positioned to solve? And if you can answer yes to all 3 questions, you've likely found a powerful foundation for your position of market dominance. Can I give you a special nugget here?
Yes, please.
One more way to identify a problem that customers have is doing a customer avatar. Now, if you do a customer avatar right and focus on one person, not a group of people, and you do it with great detail, then you'll identify that problem that they have. And by the way, you probably identify more than one problem. So let me give you an example. A financial advisor was struggling to stand out in a crowded market where everyone claimed to offer personalized financial planning and expert investment advice. And when he interviewed his ideal clients, which were successful business owners, by the way, nearing retirement, he discovered a specific problem that kept them up at night. These business owners had spent decades building their companies. They had no clear exit strategy. They were worried about transitioning ownership, minimizing their tax implications, and ensuring that their businesses continued to thrive after they stepped away. Traditional financial advisors weren't adequately addressing these complex business transition issues. So this insight led to a powerful position of market dominance. The only financial advisory firm that specializes in helping business owners triple their retirement income through strategic business exit planning. Notice how specific this is compared to generic personalized financial planning language that was used by all the competitors. It speaks directly to his ideal client's problem, lack of exit strategy, offers a specific solution they can't find anywhere else, strategic exit planning that triples retirement income. And then within a year of implementing this position, this advisor was able to double his fees while maintaining a full client roster because he was no longer competing with every other financial advisor. He created his own category.
Yeah, Michael, this is really interesting. I'm just kind of taking this all in. By the way, a lot of business owners are tuned in. We do have a question from a listener, Michael. You've talked about identifying problems that customers have, right? But what if multiple competitors are already trying to solve that same problem? How do you differentiate from that perspective?
Yeah, that's a great question from a listener. Yeah, terrific. Well, when multiple competitors are addressing the same problem, the key to differentiating becomes how you solve that problem differently or better than anyone else. And let me give you an example that comes to mind. In the home service industry, many companies try to address the problem of technicians arriving late. It's a common pain point. By the way, it's an industry problem. And it's a common pain point for customers who have to take time off from work to wait for the service. So most companies respond with what I call Me Too solutions. They all offer similar 2-hour appointment windows and perhaps a phone call when the technician's on their way. That's not differentiation. That's just meeting the baseline expectation. A company in the HVAC industry took a completely different approach. And so instead of just promising punctuality, they completely reimagined the solution. They created a no-wait guarantee. So if their technician wasn't there at the exact scheduled time, not a window, an exact time, the service was free. And to make this work, they invested in advanced scheduling software, GPS tracking, and trained technicians. And they train those technicians differently, of course. And so they also charge 50% more for competitors to support this model. But here's the key. Customers were happy to pay the premium because the certainty was worth more than the extra cost.
That's brilliant.
So the company didn't just say they solved the problem better, they backed it with a guarantee that demonstrated absolute confidence in their solution. And their competitors couldn't match this because they hadn't built the operational infrastructure to support it. And the lesson here is that true differentiation often requires innovation in how you go about delivering the product or service, not just in how you talk about it. When multiple competitors recognize the same problem, the winner isn't necessarily the one who shouts the loudest. It's the one who solves it in a way that no one else can replicate. And this might require investment in technology, specialized training, unique processes, or even changing your model a little bit. But that investment creates a competitive advantage that can't be easily copied because everybody else would have to change their operating basis, allowing you to establish a true position of market dominance, even in crowded markets. So before I continue this discussion, we're going to take a 90-second break.
Hey there, business owners. Let me ask you something. Are you tired of blending in with your competitors? Frustrated with slow growth and slim margins? Well, I've got news for you. Everything you've ever learned about growing your business is wrong. But don't worry. I'm here to let you in on a secret weapon. Your position of market dominance. It's what sets you apart, makes you irreplaceable, and has customers lining up at your door. My name is Michael Barbarita from Next Step CFO. I know what you're thinking. Sounds great, Michael, but how do I find my position of market dominance? Well, that's exactly why we've created our game-changing implementation program called Next Step to Market Dominance. In just 90 days, we'll guide you step by step to a position of market dominance by uncovering your unique strengths that competitors can't touch, by crafting a message that resonates deeply with your ideal customer, by building a strategy that turns you into the go-to expert in your field. Now, this isn't theory. These are battle-tested strategies that have helped businesses like yours double, triple, and quadruple their revenue. Don't let another quarter go by struggling to stand out. It's time to dominate your market, period. Go to nextstepcfo.net/contact, fill out the form, and in the message section, put the word dominate. Or call us at 781-326-3822. That's nextstepcfo.net/contact, or call us at 781-326-3822.
Welcome back. And remember, if you miss any part of the show or if you're driving and can't take notes, you can go back to our replays at powerfulbusinessstrategies.com. So now that we've identified the problem our customers have and don't want, let's move to the second step of creating your position of market dominance, and that is developing the solution they want but can't find. This is where many businesses fall short. They identify a valid customer problem, but offer a solution that's essentially the same as everyone else in the marketplace. Well, the key to a powerful position of market dominance is not just solving the problem, but solving it in a way that's uniquely valuable and difficult for competitors to replicate. So let me share a framework for developing these distinctive solutions. I call it the Solution Innovation Matrix, and it has 4 components. The first component is process innovation. This means developing a unique methodology or approach that delivers better results. And let me give you an example. Domino's Pizza revolutionized the industry with 30 minutes or it's free guaranteed. This wasn't just a marketing gimmick. It required completely reimagining their operational process from order taking to delivery. The second component is business model innovation. This means changing how your product or service is packaged, priced, or delivered. So a company called Dollar Shave Club disrupted the razor industry, not with a better razor, but with a subscription model that solved the problem of the high cost and inconvenience in a way that traditional retailers couldn't easily match. The third component is experience innovation. This means creating a customer experience that's meaningfully different from the competitors. So Zappos, they didn't just sell better shoes, they created a radically different buying experience with free shipping both ways and a 365-day return policy. The fourth component is guarantee innovation. This means removing risk for the customer in a way that competitors aren't willing to or able to match. We call that a risk reversal. So a roofing company offered to make to not take any payment until the materials were delivered to the roof, addressing the widespread fear of contractors taking deposits and disappearing. That was an industry problem that they addressed. It's just a problem that customers knew existed in the industry, and they solved it. The most powerful position of market dominance often combines multiple types of innovation. The key is to develop a solution that's both valuable to customers and difficult for competitors to imitate. So let me give you another example. So a residential painting company that was struggling in a competitive market where everyone claimed to offer quality painting at reasonable prices, when they researched their customer pain points, they discovered that the homeowner's biggest frustration wasn't the quality of the painting, but the disruption to their lives during the project, the noise, the dust, the inconvenience of having people in the home hustling and bustling all over the place for days. And they developed a comprehensive solution. First, their process innovation was that they developed a speed painting methodology that completed projects in half the time of traditional painters through careful preparation and team coordination. This required work, by the way. Second, business model innovation. They shifted to a whole home pricing model rather than charging by the room with guaranteed completion dates. Third, experience innovation. They implemented a clean as we go approach where teams clean thoroughly at the end of each day rather than just at the project completion. Fourth, guaranteed innovation. They offered a bold guarantee. We'll complete your project on time and on budget, or it's free. That's pretty bold. The resulting position of market dominance was very powerful. The only painting company that guarantees to complete your entire home in half the time of traditional painters with no disruption to your family life, or it's free. Now, this position addressed a real pain point, disruption during the painting process, with a solution that customers wanted but couldn't find elsewhere, which was dramatically faster service with minimal disruption. The company was able to be over competitors while maintaining a full schedule because they just weren't competing on price. Once again, they were solving a problem in a unique way. Now, developing innovative solutions often requires investment and operational changes. Not all the time, but it certainly can, like in this case with the painter. This is where many business owners hesitate. They want the differentiation without making the necessary changes to their business or their business model or their process. But here's the reality. Meaningful differentiation requires meaningful difference in how you operate. And the good news is that these investments typically deliver substantial returns because they create barriers to competition. It's hard to replicate, and it justifies that premium pricing. So let's look at another example. This is a CPA firm who discovered that small clients were frustrated by the traditional accounting model where they have minimal contact throughout the year and then a rush of activity at tax time. So business owners want an ongoing financial guidance, not just annual tax prep. So instead of just promising more attentive service, which would be jargon, this firm completely reimagined their service model. First, once again, following the framework, process innovation. They developed a monthly business review system that included forward-looking financial analysis, not just backward-looking reporting. A business model innovation where they shifted from hourly billing to a fixed limited phone and email support. Second, the experience innovation where they created a proprietary financial dashboard that gave clients real-time visibility into key business metrics. Sounds like they're turning next to CFO. Their position of market dominance became the only accounting firm that guarantees to double your profitability through monthly strategic guidance or your money back. So this position was so compelling, they were able to convert 80% of their traditional clients to the new model at higher fees while attracting a steady stream of new clients who were tired of limitations of traditional accounting services. And the key insight here is that developing the solution customers want but can't find often requires reimagining your entire business approach, not just tweaking your message. This is challenging work, but it's what truly creates a sustainable competitive advantage.
Michael, in the interest of our listeners, I want to pick up on that last point, reimagining your entire business approach. So these are really powerful examples, Michael, but many business owners might be wondering and brainstorming. I mean, how do they sincerely know if their innovative solution will actually resonate with customers before they make the necessary investments in changing their operations?
Well, that is a crucial question, Chuki. And before making any significant operational changes, one should absolutely want validation that your solution will resonate with your customers. And there's three approaches that are good for testing your solution. First, conduct solution interviews with current and prospective customers. Present your concept and ask specific questions. Would this solve a significant problem for you? How valuable would this solution be? Would you pay a premium for it? You see, these conversations often provide invaluable feedback that helps refine your approach. A lot of business owners are afraid to have these conversations. I still don't know why. Second, create a pilot program or beta offering with a small group. Testing, we say it 1,000 times if we said it once on this show, how the business owner has such an advantage because they have the ability to test. So create a pilot program or a beta offering with a small group of customers. This allows you to test your solution on a limited scale before fully committing. One of my retail clients tested a personal shopping service with just 20 customers before rolling it out broadly. And the feedback they received led to several improvements that made the final offering so much more compelling. Third, use what I call the pre-sale test. This involves marketing your new solution before it's fully implemented to gauge market response. And if you get strong interest, that's validation to proceed with the investment. And if the response is lukewarm, you can adjust before committing significant resources. So, for example, a landscaping company wanted to launch a comprehensive outdoor living design service. And that would require hiring specialized designers and purchasing new software. But before making these investments, they created a detailed service description and offered consultations to their current clients. The enthusiastic response and pre-bookings confirmed that there was strong demand for this type of service. And so the key is to gather real market feedback, not just opinions.
Yeah.
What customers say they want and what they'll actually pay for can be very different. That's why I prefer tests that involve some level of commitment from customers, even if it's just a refundable deposit or expression of serious interest. Remember, innovation always involves some level of risk, but these validation methods can significantly reduce that risk while still allowing you to truly develop truly distinctive solutions.
Michael, you're making a lot of points in today's show, just really resonating. Got some questions from listeners. Let's go with this one. You mentioned guarantees as a powerful component of a position of market dominance, but some business owners might be concerned that the risk of offering strong guarantees might not necessarily be worthwhile. I mean, how do you help them overcome this concern?
Yeah, that's a valid concern, and I hear that a lot. Well, many business owners fear that bold guarantees will be exploited by customers. So we talked about the Ski Town story, that when I was at Ski Town, and we had the ski guarantee where you ski the ski 3 times and bring it back for a brand new pair if you don't like it, and how my employees thought that thousands of pair of skis would come back when less than 1/10 of 1% came back. But there are 3 critical insights that help you overcome this fear. First, the math almost always works in your favor. Let's say you're offering a strong guarantee and increases your conversion rate by 30% and allows you to charge 10% more. Well, even if guarantee claims increase by 5%, you still come out way ahead financially. I can't tell you how many times this works in your favor. It feels really aggressive, but the customer just wants a great experience for your product or service. That's all they're looking for. If they get that, they're not going to complain. Sure, there'll be a percentage of people who take advantage. No question about it. But it's minimal. Guarantees actually tend to improve quality and reduce claims. When you publicly commit to certain standards, that your team becomes hyper-focused on meeting those standards. It makes everybody in the company better. A remodeling company I worked with implemented a done right or done free guarantee. They feared it would lead to some constant rework, but instead their quality metrics improved dramatically because everyone knew what was at stake and they worked harder and they paid closer attention. Third, most customers are reasonable and honest. The fear of rampant exploitation really materializes in actuality. In over 20 years of helping business owners implement guarantees, I've never seen a case where guaranteed claims exceeded 3% of sales, and it's typically much lower. That said, you can design guarantees with reasonable safeguards. You can have contingencies. A garden center offered a plant guaranteed for life program, but required customers to bring back the dead plant and show their receipt. This prevented abuse while still providing compelling assurance to legitimate customers. And the key to successful guarantees is ensuring your operational capabilities can consistently deliver what you're promising. A guarantee should stretch you beyond your comfort zone, but remain within the realm of what you can reliably achieve with focused effort. And remember, your competitors are likely avoiding strong guarantees due to the same fears you have. And this creates a tremendous opportunity for differentiation if you're willing to address those fears and move forward. By the way, even after it was working, my competitors did not implement a ski guarantee. Even the best competitors, the largest competitors. It's amazing. So before I continue this discussion, we're going to take a 90-second break.
Hey there, business owners. Let me ask you something. Are you tired of blending in with your competitors? Frustrated with slow growth and slim margins? Well, I've got news for you. Everything you've ever learned about growing your business is wrong. But don't worry. I'm here to let you in on a secret weapon, your position of market dominance. It's what sets you apart, makes you irreplaceable, and has customers lining up at your door. My name is Michael Barbarita from Next Step CFO. I know what you're thinking. Sounds great, Michael, but how do I find my position of market dominance? Well, that's exactly why we've created our game-changing implementation program called Next Step to Market Dominance. In just 90 days, we'll guide you step by step to a position of market dominance by uncovering your unique strengths that competitors can't touch, by crafting a message that resonates deeply with your ideal customer, by building a strategy that turns you into the go-to expert in your field. Now, this isn't theory. These are battle-tested strategies that have helped businesses like yours double, triple, and quadruple their revenue. Don't let another quarter go by struggling to stand out. It's time to dominate your market, period. Go to nextstepcfo.net/contact, Fill out the form and in the message section, put the word dominate or call us at 781-326-3822. That's nextstepcfo.net/contact or call us at 781-326-3822.
Welcome back. So now let's explore the third and final step of creating your position of market dominance. That's articulating your position in a way that resonates with your ideal customer. So this is where we bring everything together and the problem your customers have and don't want, the solution they want they can't find, into a clear, compelling statement that makes you the obvious choice. So the structure of an effective position of market dominance statement follows a specific formula. First, it directly addresses the problem or pain point that your ideal customers keep up at night. Second, it clearly communicates your unique solution to that problem. And third, it differentiates you from your competitors by highlighting what you offer that others don't. And let me give you a quick template to work with. We help whoever your ideal customer is, who struggle with a specific problem by providing this unique solution, unlike any other competitor type who only offer the inferior alternative. So for example, a daycare center might say, we help working parents who struggle with rigid childcare schedules by providing the only childcare in Boston or whatever city with extended hours until 8 p.m. Unlike other centers that close at 5 p.m. and force you to choose between your career and quality childcare. Notice how specific, customer focused the statement is. It's not about the daycare at all. It speaks directly to a pain point, the rigid schedules that don't accommodate professional demands, and other concrete solutions like extended hours that differentiates the center from competitors. This is dramatically different than the generic language that most daycares use, like nurturing environment or dedicated staff, or phrases that convey absolutely no meaningful differentiation. So in crafting your position of market dominance statement, I recommend using the following 5 principles. First, use language your customer actually use. Use the same language that your customer uses. So listen to how they describe their problems and incorporate those exact phrases. This creates immediate resonance. Second, be specific and measurable wherever possible. We respond to all service requests within 30 minutes. It's much more powerful than we respond quickly. We respond quickly actually means nothing. Third, focus on outcomes, not process. Customer care about the results you deliver, not how you deliver them. They don't care about the process. Fourth, make it possible for your customers to say, me too. Make it impossible for competitors to say, me too. If your competitors could make the same claim credibly, your position isn't strong enough. Fifth, ensure it's authentic and deliverable. Your position must reflect what you actually provide, not just aspirational marketing. Let me share a quick case study that illustrates the power of a well-articulated position of market dominance. Sometimes we call it PMD. An IT service company was struggling to stand out in a crowded market. Every competitor claimed to provide responsive service, technical expertise, and comprehensive solutions. Classic industry jargon, no differentiation there. And when he researched his customer base, he discovered that small business owners were most frustrated by unpredictable IT costs and the technical jargon that made them feel ignorant and powerless. They wanted predictable budgeting and plain English explanations. Based on this insight, the company completely restructured their service model to offer all-inclusive fixed monthly pricing with guaranteed response times and jargon-free communication. Their position of market dominance was that we help small business owners who are tired of unpredictable IT costs and technical jargon by providing the only all-inclusive IT service with fixed monthly pricing and a plain English guarantee, unlike other IT companies that charge unpredictable hourly rates and hide behind technical terms you don't understand. You see, this position directly addressed the pain points that mattered most to their ideal customer and offered a solution that their competitors weren't providing within months of implementing this position across all marketing and sales communication. Their lead conversion increased from 15 to 38%, and their client retention improved 68 to 94%. And so what's particularly powerful about a well-crafted position of market dominance is that it naturally attracts your ideal customers while compelling those who aren't a good fit. And this efficiency in your marketing is incredibly valuable because you spend less time and resources on prospects who are never going to value your unique approach. And so, Chuki, I think we can jump right into compliments now, if you don't mind.
Absolutely. Yeah. So very excited about our compliments this episode. And Michael, here's what's intriguing about this, to the point about innovation. So look, much respect to the people who invest the time to give a business review. If a small business owner has provided you with a service, invest the time to provide that business with some feedback. So it's within that same mind frame that we want to offer today's compliment. This is compliments to Bill Gibson, who gave a business review to Sunshine Cleaning Systems. Sunshine Cleaning Systems is an eco-friendly carpet and furniture cleaning company located in the greater Boston area. But here's what's remarkable: their mission. Their mission is to focus on the customers, to make sure customers have a healthy home and a happy family. And here's Bill's review, Michael, which I think you might appreciate. Here's what Bill said: Ray of Sunshine Cleaning cleaned 2 of our area rugs, and I was very happy with the service he provided. He showed up right on time with all kinds of equipment, some of it very high tech, including a black light system that allowed Ray to detect stains that other carpet cleaning companies did not detect. And Ray did a great job on the rugs, which hadn't been cleaned for 10 years. Before leaving, wow, Ray dried the rugs and cleaned up the workspace area, and then provided high-powered fans so the area was dry and Bill and the family could move their furniture right back. This is why I would absolutely recommend Ray and Sunshine Cleaning Systems. That's today's compliment. Michael, back over to you.
Excellent. Thank you, Chuki. Yeah, you can count on Ray to do that for sure. No question about that. So as we wrap up today's episode on creating a position of market dominance, let me summarize the key insights that we've covered. We introduced a 3-step framework for becoming the only logical choice in your industry. First, identify the problem your customer has and doesn't want. This means going beyond the surface level complaints to understand the deeper frustrations and challenges that your ideal customers face. And remember that your marketing must enter the conversation already happening in your prospect's mind by addressing the issues they're already concerned about. That's the problem they have, they don't want, the solution they want, they can't find. Second, develop the solution they want but can't find elsewhere. And this often requires innovation in your process, innovation in your business model, innovation in the customer experience and guarantees. The true differentiation comes from meaningful operational differences, not just marketing claims. Third, articulate your position in a way that resonates with your ideal customers. This means creating a clear, compelling statement that directly addresses their pain points and communicates your unique solution using language that speaks to them emotionally and logically. We also discussed how to implement your position of market dominance throughout your business, from marketing materials and sales conversations to operational and customer experience. And what I hope you take away from today's episode is that competing on price is a race to the bottom. No small business owner can ever win in the long run. The only sustainable path to profitability and growth is to establish a position of market dominance that makes you the obvious choice regardless of price. Remember that the most powerful positions are built on genuine customer insights and authentic business capabilities. This isn't about marketing spin or empty promises. It's truly understanding what matters to your customers and organizing your business to deliver it in a way no one else can match. If you implement just one strategy from today's episode, make it the elimination of industry jargon from your marketing. Replace generic terms like quality service, experienced professionals with specific customer-focused language that addresses real problems, not about you, about them. And that articulates your unique solution. So whether you work with us or someone else, as you develop your position of market dominance, remember that it's an evolving strategy, not a one-time exercise. Continue listening to your customers, monitoring your competition, and refining your position to maintain your competitive edge. To get a copy of the book, Powerful Business Strategies, simply go to our website, www.nextstepcfo.net. It's totally complimentary. And until next Monday at noon Eastern Time, for Chuki Obiyo, my name is Michael Barbarita, and remember, don't keep doing what your competition is doing.
You have been listening to Powerful Business Strategies, finding out that everything you ever learned about growing your business is wrong. Tune in next week and every week at noon Eastern Time on W4CY Radio with your host, Michael Barbarita of Next Step CFO and moderator Chuki Obiyo.